Hey, there's everyone. So
Hey, people.
we have a special guest this day. We have Astro, a cosplayer that is also does a lot of judging and makes a lot of her own stuff. So let's welcome Astro on.
Yeah, I'm not the perfect.
Oh,
We're going to be working on wigs today, right?
wigs. Ah, I know how to style wigs. I hope. So today I'm going to be doing a mangle wig because I happen to have the wig in my closet and it's been sitting around for a while, so we're going to use it. And I think I'm going to do a giveaway of this wig on my socials after this. So
Ooh.
That sounds
Oh.
fun.
okay, where do I start? Where do I normally start? Are you doing this along with
Oh.
me, or am I just doing it myself?
You can just keep going there.
You can start us off.
Here's my wig. My wig is already pre-crimped because I didn't want to spend 2 hours of this just crimping a wig.
So, what
But
do you normally do to crimp it? Sorry.
actually my crimper here. So crimper, it is a heat tool. I usually take just a smaller section of hair, probably about that much, probably an inch by an inch diameter, and then you just cramp, hold it for a few seconds, cramp, 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 go all the way down. And then once it's all crimped, I usually leave it in its crimped state and not brush it out right away because I like the crimp texture. But I know a lot of people don't, so if you don't, just brush it out right as it's still hot. But once it's all dry and all cooled down, I brush my wig out completely, and then I get this nice fluffy crimp texture that I like a lot. And it's really fun to play with.
So is the
is it?
heat blocking the fibers in place?
So crimping is what it's technically doing is damaging the fiber of the wig. So when wigs first come out of the bags, like when you buy them, the wig hair is too plasticky, it's too slippery, it's too hard to work with essentially. So by crimping it, you're damaging the fibers, which makes it easier to style in the long run. Just because it's easy, even on your normal hair, it's easier to style slightly textured hair than it is to style completely straight hair. But keep in mind, this is completely plastic. Most cosplay wigs are completely plastic. Normal hair, like cutting and curling and methods of styling your natural hair, will not work on a wig.
So this is synthetic wigs.
Yes, this is for synthetic wigs. Most cosplay wigs happen to be synthetic, but if you go all out and buy the really expensive human hair wig, that will just do what your normal hair does. So one of the things I like to say about synthetic wigs is that think of it less as hair and more as plastic. So when you're curling it or straightening it or crimping it even, the wig holds the shape by cooling down, not by heating up. So if you're curling a wig and you put direct heat on it and then you curl it and then you immediately let go, it's gonna go back to being straight because its gravity is pulling it down. But if you want it to hold that curl, you can just curl, and then while it's still hot, hold it, and once it's cooled down, it'll hold that curl.
So similar to how you'd heat train foam.
Yes, it's very similar. But I'm not a foam person, so I don't know a whole lot about foam. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna block my wig, make sure it's on my head straight. So, we have a canvas head. Mine has ear tabs and kind of a middle point marked out on it. That is just from years of trial and error and figuring out where my head is on wigs. So not every wig head will come with that just naturally. But my wig head also, I don't know if you can see it, has a seam right down the middle, which helps a lot with my styling just because that's my center point. I know where the center of my wig is. So I just take my wig, I shake it out a little bit. So The center of my wig will always be like here in the front, which mine is a split dye, so it's easier to see the middle of it. But usually wigs will have some kind of like skin cap up here that will help you figure that out as well. I'm just gonna put it on my wig head, and I'm just going to pull it down and make sure it's kind of symmetrical. It doesn't have to be perfect because styling is an imperfect art. It's never going to be completely perfect, and then I'm just going to take straight pins, which this one's bent, and just, mine are really small, so I'm putting 2 at the top, but you put it right in the middle so it holds the wig on, so while you're pulling and stuff, it won't just fly off.
Right.
Okay. That's my prep work, essentially. Which my wig's already all brushed out and everything, because while we were backstage, I've been sitting here playing with it and brushing it. So mine has no tangles no crimp left in it. It's just fluffy hair to play with at this point. I guess another part of prep work could be I split the hair down the back, which I know y'all probably won't be able to see this while I'm actually working on it, but I usually have it directly at me and then split the hair down the middle to have on either side of my wig head, just so the hair, one, doesn't get tangled on my head mount down here, because my head mount does have some like prongs, but also it helps keep it symmetrical so you can kind of see what you're working on. I don't know if I mentioned this in the supply list, and I don't think I did, but I use clips like this. You can use any kind of clip. It doesn't have to be these ones, but these are my favorite clips. And this is the next part, is that I section off my wig to start working on the bangs or the side pieces or the back, whatever you want to work on first. I usually always work on the bangs first, just because I think those are the most important part of a wig.
Well, yeah, that's the part that people see, mainly because it's the front of your face.
Well, I'm of the opinion of, if I can't see it, it's none of my business. I can't see the back of my head. It's none of my business. So I don't know how well I'm going to be able to do this, because we were talking about mirrors earlier, and this is kind of the same thing. But I'm going to like section out my bangs versus my side pieces. So that is pretty much all bang. So then this side would get clipped with my clips going back, just so it's out of my way and I don't have to look at it anymore. And then you do the same thing on the other side. Oh my
Now,
God.
on average, how long was it take you to make or style a wig that's like this much hair?
Honestly, this is not that much hair. I know it looks like a lot of hair, but it's not actually. It's just because it's damaged and frizzy, so it looks like a lot more hair. A normal like style for like a personal wig probably takes me about 2 to 3 hours. Something like this, or my Rosalina wig, or commission work usually takes me about 5 to 6. Like if I'm not trying to rush it a lot, just because I want it to be nice and perfect and good for whatever client I'm working on or whatever competition I'm competing in. My Rosalina wig is 3 like normal standard wigs sewn together. So that one has like triple the amount of hair a normal wig has. So this one, I'm gonna rush it a little bit today, but this wig will probably only take me like, if I was to do it at my own pace, would probably only take me like 2 to 3 hours of like not consistently working on it. Like I'll work on it for an hour and then I'll go do something else and come back to it.
Because you need to take breaks every once in a while.
Well, it's not healthy for you to sit here and consume hot fumes for God knows how long, right?
True. That's why you're supposed to be safe and wear like the face mask with the ventilator, or have a window open or something, you know.
My windows are
standard
open.
safety precautions that some people don't always do.
Take your safety precautions. Please take them. I have a bunch of animals in my house, so I have to be extra cautious of when I'm doing stuff like this, because all my animals have special needs. A lot of them have respiratory issues, so I just have to be mindful of the fumes that I'm letting out in my room, which I have a window right behind me, and then I have 2 windows over here. So my room is really well ventilated, and my air con is like right up there. so it like blows out the right into my window. So like my room's very well, but if your room is not as well like ventilated, maybe wear some protection. Don't huff fumes for God knows how long.
I was making a dig at Jeff because he doesn't always do that, even though he has a window right next to him when he works and has all of the protection literally in the room and just says, ah, fuck it, and does it anyways.
You know what? We all do that at certain points, but sometimes you should take your health into consideration just a little bit. But you don't have to. But okay. My next point is, so I'm gonna like just section this side off for a second. I do like these little like face framey pieces right in the front. I don't know how to explain them, but they're just like they come straight down right here and they curl in. So I'm gonna section that off while I'm doing this because I consider those part of my bangs, even though they aren't really part of my bangs, but they're also not part of my bangs, you know?
Yeah, they're like that like extra little swoop, like how us girls did in the late 2000s, where we just had that extra little curl to frame our face.
It doesn't really do anything, but I feel like my wig is not complete without it. So I always just like do them anyway.
It's the transition area.
There you go. Yep. Especially because I put a lot of like, I call them flips in my wigs, where like you like have the hair and you flip it out. I'll show you how to do it later. But I do a lot of those, so it is considered a transition area. Okay. I have my little like transition pieces. I'm gonna just clip them out of the way for now. I love working with these clips because I can have this one clipped all this hair back, and then I can also just clip this one back, and it's still out of my way, but it's also separated. So, which I love that. But you have to have 2 clips for it, and I think I'm out of clips, so I'm just gonna use this one. Okay, so now we have our bangs. This next part is gonna be either really easy for some of you or really hard for some of you, because we all get scissor happy. I don't know if y'all can hear that.
Yeah, I heard your puppies.
I don't know what they're doing. So I have a straight iron. Don't look at my straight iron. It's really, really crusty and dusty and needs to be cleaned. But
I see nothing. I see nothing. What are you talking about?
So my first course of action is I'm gonna do like short bangs on this wig, like I do most of my wigs. So I'm gonna like, I think my best course of action is just gonna do a preliminary chop. And as stupid as that sounds, because this is where people mess up their wigs, because if you cut too much a wig off, it doesn't grow back. So I just kind of like, actually, I think I need to separate these bangs a little bit. Why is this so chunky in here? Why is the white side so much more bang than the pink side? It's okay. I'll make it work.
Blame the manufacturer.
Well, they don't make this wig anymore. That might have been why they don't make this wig anymore. I don't know. Okay. I've had this wig since like probably 2020, probably, honestly. So
that's a minute.
Yeah, it's been sitting in my closet, but it's been brand new sitting in my closet. Like I hadn't opened it even to like look at it. So but I know they don't make this wig anymore because I was trying to find the link to send to you guys, but they don't make it anymore. And this is so I would have gotten it in 2023 because I was redoing my mangle wig, but never ended up actually doing it.
Okay, so it's not that old then. It's 3 years old. That's okay.
3 years is still pretty old for a wig. Okay, so I have my bangs. I know roughly how long my bangs need to be. I'm gonna say that and then I'm gonna mess this up, but
no, you're not.
I'm gonna cut about that much off. Everyone's face is different. You might need more bang or less bang than what I need, but also I'm just doing a universal style because I am giving this away in the end. And now you can either do what my mom hates and throw this on the floor, or you can do it in the trash can that's also right under your feet. So I'll be good for now and throw it in the trash can. And then you're left.
Your mother would be so proud.
I know, my mother would be so proud. We're left with some pretty crazy bangs. I think I'm gonna do these as like a split bang. So they have.
When cutting it, would you say leave more and then you can always trim a little more?
Oh yeah, definitely. Always do that. Again, it doesn't grow back. It will never grow back, especially not like your normal hair. It is plastic. It cannot grow anything. Keep it longer and have to trim more away later than having to cut all at once and then it's gone and you don't know what to do. Because you can mess up a wig beyond repair. But I'm of the opinion of most wigs can be saved unless you really mess it up. But that's up to you to decide. If you think it's all messed up, then you get a new wig. Oh well, you're out $10.
More hair back to it, like weave style almost.
Sorry, say that again.
Can you add more hair back to it, or if you wanted to put like stripes or something into it?
Oh yeah, so most wigs you can just sew tracks back into it or wefts, whatever you want to call them. The only time I don't think that's possible is when you mess up the bangs, because the like skin top that's right here at the top is really hard to replace. Like you technically can replace it if you have the exact same wig and you just replace that piece, but you can't just use like normal tracks right there unless you're doing like a glued styled of wig, which is not my ballpark. I have only done it once and I don't like doing them. But you can save almost anything. And then if you want to add like, the Scene Kid like rat tails on the front with like the stripes in them and stuff, like you can add almost anything to your wig. If you just have extra wefts, throw them in, like of course. This is your wig. You style it the way you want it. I also am just gonna brush out and get the last little bit of the cut off of it, because you want to keep it clean. At later point in this wig styling process, you will have glue all over your hands, and it's like inevitable. It just happens. So try to keep it clean now, so later you don't have to deal with it. And then I'm going to just like point cut my bangs a little bit. These are not my hair cutting scissors. I literally don't know where my hair cutting scissors went. So we're just gonna point cut a little bit, which is just like blending out the edges a little bit, just so they're not nearly as harsh. And I try to thin out the bottoms of it a little bit. And by thinning out, you just take a little section of hair and you like open and close your scissors as you're like sliding them back and forth, but you're only doing it like a little bit. You're not like cutting straight through the whole thing. And then you get just the hair out, and then it thins out your bang a little bit. What are my dogs doing? I really hope
they know you're on a live show and want to bother you like children.
Probably. Honestly, probably. My bird is having a conniption fit downstairs too. I hear him.
Oh, now I hear the bird.
I love my animals, but God, sometimes they're annoying. And my doors are closed. Like you can't see them. They're closed. And I just do that like all throughout, just to thin out my bangs a little bit. I try to do it at like the under layers more than the top layers, because the top layers you will see if you don't cut them completely like perfectly. And in this process, it's going to be inevitable that you get hair all over your clothes. Like it's inevitable.
Like working with fur.
Yes, it is. It gets everywhere, except this is like little shards of plastic. Like it's
so
not
like working synthetic fur. It's same stuff, basically.
Basically, yeah. Except I don't know if fur can do this, but like hair, like natural hair has like this small chance of like becoming like, if it's standing in the right spot, you can like step on it and it's almost like a needle. It's like a very small chance, but it happens to me a lot apparently. And synthetic hair will also do the same thing if it's in just the right spot. It feels like a pin's in your foot. Which I don't know why I know that, but when it happens to you enough, I guess you get used to it.
Yeah, you deal with a lot of wigs, because I think nearly every single one of your costumes has a wig.
Well, the way I style my wigs is I do forever styles. So once I style it once, I don't tend to go in and restyle it ever again, like for different characters. I just will fix it up and use it for one character forever, and will keep it on wig heads in my closet and stuff. Can you see any of them? No, I don't have any of them right now. But
I see another wig head, but not a wig on it.
yeah, my little like travel wig head. I think all my wigs are actually over there. But I do forever styles, so I don't actually like restyle my wigs once I have them done, unless it's like to clean it up from like wear and tear. So I tend to do like pretty like heavy styles. Like I wouldn't call them glued styles, but they're definitely not like if I wanted to wash it out, I could, but it would be a process, you know?
Well, yeah, because I noticed you were holding up a can of Got2b spray glue.
Which I'm going to talk about this. This is not my favorite hairspray. This is just what I have. I don't tend to use this very often because this stuff genuinely will gunk up your wig, and it's really hard to get out if you ever want to. And I don't think it's the best hairspray out there for wigs, but I know a lot of people like stand by it. So I'm not going to say that as like a don't use it kind of thing. But I tend to use like really cheap hairspray just because I use a lot of it all at once.
Warm water breaks down Got2b.
I know. I don't like washing wigs to begin with, so it's one of those things where I don't want to deal with it. Yeah. And I feel like it like this is all Got2b. Like it gunks up my hair straighteners way worse than like cheap hairspray does.
That's what we use on Bruce is the gel or the glue version.
Yeah.
Squeeze bottle glue for his mohawk. So.
Oh. Okay. Next part.
I have messy hands whenever I do that.
Yeah. I used to have really short hair that I styled like that, so I've done all the different types of gels. Okay. So the next little thing that I'm gonna do is I separated my pink out because I think I'm gonna have them just slightly separated. I have a vision for this wig. If you don't have a vision, find some visions because you have to have some kind of inspiration when you're working on wigs. Because everyone has a different idea of what they want in the end. While I could want one thing, you want a different thing. So either a Pinterest board or a TikTok video of you liking someone else's cosplay wig and you're taking that as inspiration. Have some kind of motivation behind it. I have kind of a vision of what I want, so we're going to try to accomplish that, but we're going to see how far I get before I change styles. So I'm going to try to do this where you can see it. So I have my little pink section. I'm trying to separate the colors of the hair, so it's not perfectly like separated, but it's good enough for me. I'm going to take my Got2b. In this process, you have to be kind of quick about it, but you want the Got2b to be wet when you put it on the hair. So when you put it on the hair and it's wet, you take your hair straightener and you like straight, but then curl it in underneath. So you get like that curl. So I'm going to like try to do it pretty quickly without.
So it has to like, you have to be quick. Otherwise it's going to set and just stay the way it is.
Yeah. So when Got2b dries a little bit, it becomes kind of gummy before it fully hardens. And you don't want the gumminess in the wig because then your hair straightener, when you put it on it, will create this like gunk stuff on your wig. Which you can, if you take rubbing alcohol and you just like use a Q-tip and you can get it out pretty easily. Like it doesn't actually hinder your wig, but it's just annoying to have to deal with it. So
just adding steps.
And then I'm just going to curl it underneath. And now that it's curled, I'm going to like hold it in the shape that I want it to be while it cools down, if I can help that. So it like, hold on, it has to cool down.
So it stays in place.
A lot of the wig styling is just waiting for stuff to cool down. So there you go. See how easy that stays in place? That is what I want. That is what I want. People kind of call these a lot of different things, like these types of curls. Some people call them like victory curls. Some people call them like baby micro bangs. A lot of people call them a lot of different things, but this technique of just, here, I can do it at like one of these hair pieces. I can really show you what I'm doing. But so I'm taking just the smaller the section of hair, the better it turns out usually. The shorter the hair is, also the better it turns out. The longer it is, it's kind of harder like for gravity to keep it what it's doing. So you're gonna wait, hold on. My first step is just trimming off, and I'm gonna cut this away in the end anyway, so it doesn't really matter, but I like to even out my hair so I don't have like just random straggler pieces. And then you spray it, and then my hair is going to be going this way, so if I wanted to go in, I would curl it towards me, and while it's in the iron, you like pull on it, and then once it like comes out, you like use your finger to like curl it, and then you get a little flip. And then if you want to do it like, if you want it to go out like that, you would just do the opposite.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you have to use a flat iron, or if you actually have a curling iron, would that be better or worse?
I have found that flat irons do the flips the best. I found that the mini flat irons do it the best. These ones are sometimes too big, depending on like the area you're trying to curl. Curling irons, you can do it, but it's a lot harder because there's no like flat edge like push down on. And it tends to like slip away, which if you only have a curling iron, you can make it work. Like there's no one set way to do anything in the cosplay world. But True. This is just the way I found is easiest, and I tend to use a straight iron or flat iron. So I'm going to do this. Oh my God, my thing is all gunked up. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So again, I'm just flat down, and then you're going to pull towards you and then curl under. I don't think I put enough hairspray on this one. I did not put enough hairspray. Usually the first attempt is usually going to be the best attempt. So if you have to do it again, it's usually not going to be as good as your first attempt would have been. But
that's how we learn.
You're never going to get something on the first try.
So how did you get like learning your techniques on how to style wigs and stuff? Did you watch YouTube videos? Did someone actually in person teach you, or you're like, I'm just gonna figure this out on my own?
It was a lot of trial and error. So it was a lot of me being like, well, I don't like, so back when I first started styling wigs, let me start there. I loved the over accessorized wigs. Like if you look back at any of my Tinkerbells or my like Mangle wigs or like anything like that, I loved the over accessorized like super fluffy wigs. So I wanted to learn how to do that, but at the time the style wasn't to do that. It was to keep it like more natural and more straight. So I had to learn on my own how to get the like texture I wanted without actually having a textured wig, because you know those are more expensive and I only had like the super cheap wigs. So I learned over time that like hair forms by cooling down. It always forms by cooling down. And that was like the hardest thing for me to learn. But once you learn that, like, and you realize it's not going to act like your normal hair, like it's not going to do that. Once you like learn that, it tends to go easy, smooth, like smooth sailing from there. I taught myself a lot of it, but I also had this one friend who like also really liked the over accessorized wigs, but she preferred to do like curls while I prefer to do flips. I know they sound different, but they sound the same, but they're not. But so I had a little bit of help and I had a little bit of the internet, but mostly I just learned it on my own from trial and error of figuring it out. And there we go. You're not the perfect, like I would probably sit here and fix this like a normal wig day, but for now it looks good enough. I'm going to just separate mine a little bit. And another thing you're going to learn is that the underside of your wig is never going to be as like crunchy hard as the top side of your wig is, which is just normal because the hairspray isn't penetrating all the way down. So like, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but if I lift this up, this is all soft hair and it's like not formed to anything, which that is just, that's a personal preference. You can easily fix that by spraying hairspray on the other side before you like curl it, but I don't particularly care. The only time I care, especially is when I'm doing like a Rosalina style with like the big bang in the front, is if you're gluing like the ends of it and you have to like take it off the wig head, they tend to get stuck to like the canvas, which is what it is. But if you don't like that, that's something to think about. This one little hair will not leave me alone.
You always have that one piece of hair.
It just won't go where I want it to go, but it also won't stay where I put it. So
yeah, I have a piece of hair like that on my head, which made my hair for prom difficult to do because it needed to go one way and it wanted to stay the other way. So I just had like a weird little zigzag in the front of my head.
Well, why would I want to listen to what you want? Like, that's not my path in life.
Yeah, but I was like, the hell, hair. I mean,
but yeah, that bangs. Some people at this point like to brush out their bangs, which, if that's what you like to do, do it. It just makes them a little less crunchy and a little more fluffy, but it still has that curl in it, so it still curls under. I think bangs look better when they curl under than when they're just left flat, because it gives just a little bit more texture to the hair and like gives your eye something visually to look at. And then this next part is going to be my like side front bang piece.
So you said you don't prefer got to be. What one do you prefer?
Actually, I don't have a favorite, surprisingly. I literally just use whatever's on sale that week. I tend to get the Rave hairspray just because it's super cheap, and I prefer that one for crimping hair because it doesn't gum up my crimpers very much. And it's a very lightweight hairspray, but still has enough hold in it to like actually crimp the hair. Got to be just as like, for most things that I'm doing, it's too strong for what I want. And it tends to just get clumpy. It tends to just
glue.
It is literally just glue, but it tends to get clumpy. And this is like the gold standard for cosplay. And it's like, this stuff's also like $8 a can, which is really expensive for some hairsprays. So if you can't afford it or don't want to use it, like there's other alternatives. It's called Rave. It's like a little blue and pink can. I love that hairspray. It's like $3 at Walmart. Like, it's not very expensive. I also tend to use the Aussie hairspray, the purple can. I think all my hairspray is downstairs actually right now. But I don't know. That's just a personal preference. Everyone has their preferences.
Because I also use a setting spray, I tend to keep around some Aquanet.
Aquanet also is pretty good. I haven't.
Aquanet is the OG of hairspray.
I was like OG. Like I haven't heard that name in a while.
Aquanet does some insane things as well. It'll take trailer hitch grease out of your clothes.
Oh my god! You're putting the stuff in their hair.
It does some insane stuff, but I also just used it on my boots because I used the powder dirts on there.
Yeah.
I sprayed them with the Aquanet to set everything so that it'd have like a water coat still on it.
If people use this on their hair.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay. Well.
I mean,
each their own.
Most cosmetic chemicals aren't actually good for you.
I'll give you that one. So I'm doing my like face framey piece. So I'm gonna cut it like. I roughly know it's going to take about 1 inch off whenever I curl it. So I'm going to cut just a little bit further down from wherever I want it to be. Now, this is like a mix of like the bang hair and the actual side hair. So it's not as full as like you usually would want it. But I just need a little piece to like get my brain that it's there. I don't really care what it looks like in the end. So I don't like how it's like, I don't know if you can see that. Like it's like poking out. So I'm going to take my straight iron and I'm going to heat up like this root part a lot. And then I'm going to hold it like straight I'm going to hold it. I cannot keep a train of thought while I'm actually doing something. And I'm going to hold it here just while it cools down. So it like will kind of conform closer to my wig head. And in turn, my actual hair, like at my actual head when I put it on. Oh, there we go. And you see how it's not springy as much? Ooh.
Yeah, it's like it falls flat like normal hair, not like you just woke up and your hair's all twinkle.
Exactly. And then I'm gonna do just another curl at the bottom. I prefer my front bangs to curl in towards my face, while some people prefer like their hair to curl out. It's really personal preference. But again, just another curl. I'm gonna go straight iron it down. I'm gonna curl it in, and I'm gonna push on it while it's doing that, and then hold it. Now,
I actually heard it sizzle.
yeah, it's going to, because it has wet. It's a wet going on a hot thing, and then it's gonna sizzle. It just does that. It's not actually anything to worry about, but it does release fumes if you like do it too long in closed space. Also, I'd like to mention that we are using hot tools this time around. Please be mindful of how hot your hot tool gets. It could melt your wig. I've used this brand of wigs for years. I know what it can handle. And when you like curl it and you put your hand on it to like curl it to hold it, it's really hot. My hands can handle it because I have years of hot glue burns and doing this for a living. I can handle how hot it gets, but most people, it's going to be like super hot on your hands. So just keep that in mind when you're actually like curling your pieces.
So because I hate the hot glue burn stuff, and I always end up with the blob on the side of the finger.
Yep.
I actually keep with my hot glue stuff a pair of goatskin gloves.
Yeah. I have these. Hold on. I think I have a picture here. No, I don't. I have these like I don't know where they went, but they're like these like little silicone finger protectors that you put on your finger when you're like touching hot glue. And those help a lot. You can still kind of feel the heat through it, but it doesn't like directly burn your skin.
Yeah, that's kind of what the gloves do for me.
I, at this point, just don't care. Like I'm over caring about touching hot glue. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. Like I'm at cons, like doing repair kits all the time, and I'm like actively sticking my finger in hot glue to like flatten stuff out. And people are like, "Why are you doing that? Why don't you like let it cool down a little bit?" And I'm like, "Because why would I do that?"
See, the hot glue stings. I don't like that, but I'll have weld BBs, like hot molten metal, bounce off my arm. I'm like, whatever.
It is what it is.
So, just to touch on what you said you're doing repairs, because I know, obviously, that your mom will walk around with a backpack full of supplies.
Yep.
And if there's an outlet, she will plug in that hot glue gun.
Yes, she will. So my mom is my biggest like support. She's my biggest like cheerleader in this, and she's been to every con but 4 of them with me. Every single con I've ever been to, minus 4. So we've been to a lot of conventions together, and we've been to a lot of conventions where my stuff has broken. We've been to a lot of conventions where like people are like desperately needing hot glue and there's no like repair on site. So we just started bringing our own hot glue gun because, well, everyone's gonna need it eventually anyway. And we bring a cheap one because multiple times we've had people just not give us our hot glue guns back, which is fine. But like if someone gives you a glue gun to use, bring it back. God damn it, bring it back.
Yeah. I understand if like you guys couldn't wait and you left the area and they're like,
I've done a few times.
Find them.
But like, especially because we usually only let people who we trust, like we give them the hot glue gun and like come find us throughout the day to give it back to us like later whenever we're busy. And we only usually do that to people we trust. Like we've done it to you guys, like we've done it to a lot of people. And usually we always get them back if we like trust that person. But sometimes every now and then we'll be like, hey, bring it back to us. Like we have to run. And they're like, no, we'll find you. And then I just never get it back, which is fine. It is what it is. It's like a $5 hot glue gun. I'm not that upset. But give me my hot glue guns back, guys. This all comes out of my own pocket.
Yeah.
Then, okay, I don't know if you can see this, but I have this random piece of hair right here that's not part of the bang and it's not part of my side piece, but it's in the wrong spot. So I have 2 options of this one. I can either make my wig asymmetrical and make just a tiny curl right here at the bang. Like I can make like a tiny curl here, like down like this piece, but up here. Or I could like tuck it back up into the wig cap and pretend like it doesn't exist. Or I could cut it really short and you won't see it. What do you guys vote on? I could do any of these options. I don't really care.
I think you should just make it like another piece of the wig, like it's meant to be there, and that piece is just it's short and it's there.
Yeah, another curl. Yeah, we can do that. It's just gonna be off center, or it's gonna be asymmetrical, but I don't care.
Most natural things are.
Sorry?
Most natural things are asymmetrical.
Yeah. See, I have never been one of those people where it's like, oh, I'm wearing a wig, it has to be natural. I don't care. Like, I've never been one of those people where, like, my wigs have to look natural. Like, I obviously don't care. I go for, like, cartoony looks most of the time anyway. But some people, like, really care about their wigs being, like, symmetrical and nice and, like, natural looking. And, like, you're never going to get something 100% symmetrical. You can try your best, but you're never going to get it, like... You're never going to...
I mean, as long as the people understand the character you're trying to portray, that's all that matters.
See, I don't even think people have to understand what you're portraying. Like, if you are happy with what you came out and no one recognizes the character, it's still worthwhile for you to make it.
True. But it's like also it's like I did my best with what I got. This is what it is. It's close enough. Because some people are like, you have to be exact. Others are like, you did good. You did awesome with your interpretation.
You did what you wanted to do, and that's all that matters to you in the end.
Yeah.
And
I like the Adam Savage one. Adam Savage goes, if you can nail the silhouette, everything else will fall in place.
Yep, pretty much. So I have another technique that I'm going to show because this one really does not want to like conform to the heat. So I'm going to heat it up and like hold it where I want it. But then I'm also going to take a straight pin and just like over there. And I will come back to this curl in a little bit and like keep reshaping it over time. But using that pin will just help hold the hair like off to the side so it doesn't like keep springing back. And like once you take it out, it like kind of heat curls to that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll come back throughout the style and like keep messing with that piece just until I get it to where I like it. But while it's still hot, I can't do anything to it. And now is the back part of the wig. This is the part that genuinely takes me the longest in a style. And I'm not gonna do the full thing on the style on the call today because I can't be bothered, to be honest. But I'll show you like the basic techniques of what I'm using and what I'm doing, and I'll do like the first half here. But so first I'm just gonna brush out my wig just so I can know that there's no tangles or anything on it. And you should like be like brushing your wigs periodically anyway, both when you're wearing them and when you're like styling them. And especially if you have like my Rosalina wig, if you have like curls going down the back of your neck or anything, or a longer wig with no styling at the back, that the nape of your neck will always like mat up faster than the rest of your wig. So if you're brushing it out, it will help stop that. And that is usually when you have to restyle a wig, is when it's really knotted back there, because it's really hard to get that out without just ruining your style. But for this part, I think I'm just gonna follow the same like that I did for my first mangle wig. So I'm gonna like have a few longer pieces here, but then get it shorter as I go towards the back. So I'm gonna just take a section of hair, and then I'm gonna clip the rest of it off to the side because it's in my way. And I think it's easier to see if I just have my piece. So there's a few ways you can do this. So either you cut it all at one length and you just leave it like that, or you can do what I do, which I decide I want to do the top pieces first. So I take a section of whatever section of hair I have. And keep in mind, your flip will always take out about 1 inch of length. So I want it to be probably that long. So I'm going to cut like down here. And I prefer to have like blunt cuts for flips, but some people don't. Again, up to interpretation. And then I'm going to spray it. And I'm going to But this time I'm doing the opposite, so I'm going to be curling like away from me. Oh, there we go.
So why do you prefer a blunt cut as opposed to others who want a zigzag or jagged cut?
Well, okay. So a blunt cut will give you something like this, where it's like, I don't know if you can see that, but it's like a harsh stop and start point of your wig. If you do a more like feathered out look, it will give you like a different effect on your wig essentially. So it will make this like less defined and more like softer in a sense. It also makes it harder, at least for me, to curl my wigs if I do like a less blunt cut, just because I actually don't know why. I just, in my head, it makes it harder. But you also have like stragglers to deal with at that point. I don't know. I just prefer to do it that way, and I can't exactly explain why I prefer to do it that way. But I have seen people do it the opposite way, and it just looks just as good. I just, in my personal opinion, don't do it. And then the way I usually do it is, so I have like my shortest curl here. Let me turn that a little bit. I have my shortest curl up here. So then I like stagger them out. So my next curl would probably be somewhere down here. And then I'm actually going to do my first blunt cut. So I want it to be about this long in the end. So I'm gonna, some people save this hair and make wefts for it later if you want to fill in sparse spots in your wig. Like, you're welcome to do that, but I just throw it away because I don't know what to do with it. Everyone does.
If anyone wants to experiment, they can save it.
Experiment, you can save that. You can save those pieces. And I'm gonna do another like blunt cut here. These scissors suck. Oh my god. I don't know what, these are my thread cutting scissors because I cannot find my actual good hair cutting scissors, but this shows you can do anything with anything.
They probably got some Legato B in it.
No, I think the like pin right here is coming out.
Oh, so
and I just think they're like extra dull because I've used them for like ages at this point. So it's probably my fault of why they're not like.
Well, that's why I have different scissors for different tasks.
Exactly. My fabric scissors will never go towards a wig.
I just had to get new ones because my other ones were starting to wear out.
Oh my god. I actually buy my fabric shears off of Temu, as stupid as that sounds. But they like genuinely have some really good scissors, and it's like $4 for a pair. And I love them so much, and they're like 7-inch blades, and they're like so nice. They're like the nicest fabric scissor I've ever used, and I love them so much, and they're so cheap. So I have like 80 of them. So I just haven't made any of them dull enough to have to rebuy them because I have so many of them.
I do the thing where once they get to a certain point where they're like starting to spread and stuff, I'll buy new fabric scissors, and then those will become the foam scissors.
Yep.
Because foam will kill your scissors.
Oh, yeah. I learned that the hard way when I was first actually making my first Mangle cosplay, because I used my good fabric scissors on my foam, and I was like crying because they didn't work anymore. And my mom's like, well, what did you think was going to happen? So that is like the front half of my wig. Let me see if I can. There we go. There's my first curls. And I just like layer them up. And I like the springy look. Like, I like the, if you prefer them like closer to your head, you can also do that. But I prefer the like, and I will just do that all along the back of my wig. And I try to keep this the longest piece of my wig, like these front facing pieces for like this style of wig, just because I like the like shorter look in the back with a mangle wig, but that is just a me preference. And this is my wig, so I can do whatever I want to it.
And anyone who wins it in your giveaway will be honored because it's something you made.
Exactly. I made it, and if you're entering the giveaway, you must like it a little bit.
So tell us, do you know how people are supposed to enter said giveaway, or details will be announced eventually?
Details will be announced eventually. It's going to turn into like how long does it take me to actually finish this wig and get final shots of it, and then it's going to turn into probably like follow me, like the post, share the post, and you'll get like comment something and you'll get into the giveaway.
Like, and then you'll like raffle it that way of the entries or whatever.
Yeah, and then raffle it at the end whenever the giveaway decides to close. I have a lot of events coming up. Like I have a swap meet I just announced today, actually.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That is really great. I know it's in September,
Yeah.
but still that's really good. I think you might know her, Misha, the cosplayer that always gives out stickers and things to people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's been wanting to do something like that or attend something like that for the longest time. So I saw that she liked it and shared it too. I'm like, yep, that's totally up her alley. She's been wanting to do that.
See, I've been talking to a lot of people. So I've been planning this for like probably 2 or 3 months now. And I've been talking to so many people who want to do it. And it's been like a dream for a lot of people to want to do it. But no one's bitten the bullet just yet. So me and Thea Calix decided we were going to do it together. So we just bit the bullet. We had to rent like a hall for it, like an event space for it, because the park, like doing it in a park, one would be really hot because it's going to be September, or it's going to be really cold all the time of year. But it's also like really hard to get permitting and stuff for selling at a park.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people would want to sell their cosplays versus trade them, which you can do either because our event space actually lets us do either. And
so they won't like require a sell permit even if it's a weekend one for the event or anything?
No. So under Sacramento law, it falls down to like a yard sale type event. So it's like if you only do a yard sale 2 to 3 times a year, you only do a selling event twice a year, you don't have to have a permit of any kind, which I have a permit, Thea has a permit. So we do have people on site who do have the permits because we, sell at conventions and things. But for like the average person coming just like to sign up and hang out, you don't actually have to have a permit.
Okay. Because I know other things I've been involved in, people have been like, no, we need permits because it's here and XYZ. So I was like wondering, like, how are you guys pulling that off?
Well, so I don't know exactly how the law works because I'm not from California, or I'm not from California originally, but also I'm not like from Sacramento specifically.
Yeah.
It kind of most states have the same kind of law around like yard sale type laws, where it's like technically you have to disclose it on taxes and whatnot, which you should be doing your taxes according to however your accountant is telling you to do your taxes. But if you only do it like twice a year, there's no really reason to get a whole permit for it. And Sacramento knows that. And plus we are in a private building on private space. Like it is a private event space. So we aren't like selling in public, like at a park or anything like that. So there's no like permitting going on there either. And we decided we really didn't want to do it outside because it was either going to be really hot or really cold. And we have to worry about the rain and whatnot like that.
Yeah, and then canopies or no canopies and
yeah. So our event, we are selling the table spaces to like actually sell your merchandise or sell your cosplays and stuff, just so we can like recoup that little bit that we're spending on the event space. But it's literally no more than that. If we sold every table, we would break even essentially. And then it comes, if you do buy a space, it comes with it comes with tables and chairs if you buy that space, or it comes with like floor space that's taped off and like everything like that. You are not allowed to bring tables, you're not allowed to bring chairs, but you are allowed to bring like garment racks if you're self-contained and things like that.
And this is just for cosplayers to sell and swap out, because it's not like actual like clothing vendors or anything like that.
No. So it's just for cosplay specific stuff. So like either cosplay making stuff like fabric, foam, warblood, scraps, whatever, machines even, or it's for like store-bought handmade cosplays that you just don't want anymore and you want to swap them or trade them or sell them. Like, it's more for like the cosplayers to like offload stuff, because I know all of us cosplayers have a lot of stuff that we just need to get rid of sometimes.
So somebody wanted to get a space, how would be the best way to contact you?
Go to my Instagram, and the link is in my bio. It's in my link tree, actually. So you just go to that little form. It's a Google Doc form. You just go in that form and you fill it out, and I'll send you like to pay your spot and stuff like that. But it's super simple. I've already had quite a few people do it.
Oh, cool.
It's a lot of fun. I'm super excited to hold one like that. I went to one this past weekend in Anaheim, actually. And they were the inspiration for doing the event, because everyone was like complaining that there wasn't one in Sacramento or the Bay Area. And then we like start planning it and everything. And then a group announced one, Silver Age weekend, in the Bay. And I was like, well, now we're all just doing it. It's going to be so much fun because there's multiple like chances to like swap your stuff out.
Oh yeah. I mean, I know I'm saying this right now because I might forget later, but if you want us to, we know a guy who can make flyers, and we can promote that at other events we're going to be going to up until that day.
Ooh, that'd be so nice, actually. I was going to ask y'all to like promote it a little bit, but I forgot about it.
That's okay. We're promoting it right now. I have your Instagram handle up on the screen, so people are watching even after we are live can go over there and get that done. And then I think I might last minute have our printer friend print up some for when we are at our event this weekend.
Woo! I will say spaces are limited. We have a very small space that we're actually dealing with. So like seller spaces are limited, but you're welcome to like bring stuff to swap and things if you don't get a seller space. We just ask you don't sell them for money, because people are buying the spaces. I'm
going to trade for chocolate coins.
I'm just curling my wig at this point. I'm not even like talking about it.
You showed everyone the basics of how you're doing it before, and people who are rewatching it can rewind it and see the techniques after.
My hands are all gunked up at this point, so the hair is sticking to my hands. At this point, I probably would wash my hands just to get that like hairspray residue off of it. But and there's like my sides done. Whee!
It reminds me of that ribbon candy.
Oh, it does, doesn't it? I get that a lot, actually. Surprisingly, I get that a lot. I also get the, like, what are they? They're not Laffy Taffies, but they're, like, a specific kind of candy where you're supposed to curl it up and, like, dip it in stuff. It's an old candy, but, it reminds me of that a lot. And, like, they're, like, they're not going to go away unless you brush them out. And even if you brush them out, they're still going to, like, pop back up. So it's, like, pretty stable. They are, like, I don't know if you can hear that. They're kind of crunchy. But I prefer...
Okay, that's the got to be, I think.
It's not even the got to be. It's the heat with the hairspray, like, gelling together. So it's, like, making it extra crispy. It's also, like, if you take got to be and you heat it up with a hairdryer to set it like you're supposed to, it's basically doing that just without the hairdryer. You're doing it with a flat iron instead. I also would like to point out, because this is like so fascinating to me, when you spray the hairspray and then you like put too much on it and you do this and you curl it, the little bit of like juice that comes off your like, it's not doing it right now because I didn't put any hairspray on it, but the little juice that comes off of the flat iron isn't hot, and that confuses my brain so much. I mean, it might be hot for you. My straight iron, it doesn't get hot, and that confuses me. So every time it drips onto me, I get scared. It's like, oh, it's going to be hot. It's not hot. But I guess my next little thing will be how to show you how to glitter and how to color your wigs, because I do that a lot in my wig stuff.
Ooh, coloring. Ooh.
So for this, I have a chalk pastel set. you can also just use eyeshadow, which is what I typically use. This is my first time actually trying this. So I'm gonna see if this works, and we're gonna like test it together to see if it works. But
Yay!
usually I use eyeshadow, like eyeshadow palette, just whatever color you want, essentially. I tend to use one color per like color of my wig. So the white I'll probably use a gray, and the pink I'll use like a darker pink. I tend to do the darker shade of whatever my wig is, just to give it definition. It is easier to go darker than it is to go lighter, like anything in the world. So the way I do this is I have a little eyeshadow brush. There is a little bit of just reminiscent color on this brush, but it's around the same color that I want to use anyway, so it's fine. So I'm going to start off with the top of my wig, just because it's the easiest point. I'm going to spray a little bit of hairspray. I'm going to dig my brush into the color, and then you paint. And it like sticks to it. And then once you like get it to where you want it like all blended out and everything, I don't blend mine out super well because I prefer the chunkiness of it. But once you get it all like blended out, you spray it again with hairspray, and now it won't come off. If you really rub at it, or if you like get it wet or something, it will come off. But just to like, you know, tapping your hand on it, once that hairspray dries, it won't like come off. And I just take this, I tend to focus on like the roots of my wig. I tend to focus this on like the like very ends of my wig to give it like more definition. That did not spray any hairspray out of it. Oh my god, come on. There we go. But I tend to focus like on the ends of my wigs and like but that's like
Give it a little pop.
Give it a little pop. You can literally do the color wherever you want to on your wig. Like it is your wig. The sky's the limit. Do whatever you want. Like I know people do this method for like raccoon tails and like the scene kid stripe hair. Like people do stuff like this for that all the time. And then I tend to like, you can't really see that, but I did like my one little curl. And then I tend to put a little bit in the middle and then just like do a little bit to like blend it in the middle. Almost like a highlight, but it's not a highlight, if that makes sense. And you see how much definition that already gives the wig, like just a little bit that I did on that one strand.
Yeah, it makes it pop, and you can see the curls more.
It makes it blend in less.
Yeah. Because it's for a cosplay, it's for a costume. You're trying to show off.
Exactly. And especially my like rule of thumb, especially when I'm like, I look for this when I'm judging people in cosplay contests as well, and I think about it every time I compete in cosplay contests. You're painting for the back of the room. A drag queen once said this, but you're painting your face for the back of the room. People like in the front audience will see you really well, but the people way in the back will not be able to see like the shapes and stuff as clearly as the people up in the front. So you're trying to make it as dramatic as possible for the people in the back to see you. So if like your wigs can be flat in one color, and if you prefer that, you prefer that. Like that is completely up to you. But if you want like to be able to show off the little curls in your wig a little bit easier, coloring them with eyeshadow like this is a good option. I very clearly can't do this where like you can actually see what I'm doing, but I'm literally I'm painting color onto a wig. I don't know how else to describe what I'm doing other than I'm painting eyeshadow onto a wig.
Well, it's exactly what you're doing, so.
I feel like an artist when I do this because you get to like, your little creativity gets to go off. Also, this chalk pastel is working really well on this. So I think I might switch over to this just so I'm not wasting eyeshadow. I'm one of those people where I get like eyeshadow palettes for my birthday and Christmas and stuff, but I don't do very much like actual fun makeup anymore. So I always end up using them on wigs, and like some of my palettes are disgusting because of how much I like scrub the color into it. Because once you like, if you ever get like setting spray or something on your makeup palette and like that like hard crust forms on the top of your eyeshadow. It's really hard to get past that. And like that with hairspray happens all the time. Like it is so common to get hairspray into your when you're doing something like this. And
Well,
like
because everything's flying around.
I try to take it at like different levels as well, so it's all not just like one flat like. I try to like keep the level of like how do I explain this? Like this curl is short, this curl is long. So I do the same thing on like the coloring of the wig.
So something I used to do for when I do makeups for like horror and stuff.
Yeah.
Is when you're spraying your setting sprays or something, you can take a clear piece of plastic and just set it over your trays, and then spray real quick. And if you just keep a couple little pieces of masking tape on it, you can pull it forwards and just stick it to the edge of your whatever your table is that's holding your makeup.
See, that's really smart, but I'm really lazy and I just will scrub harder to get the color out. I don't really care in the end.
I started doing that when I started having like $70 palettes.
Yeah, and that's the difference between me. I use the cheap of the cheap stuff. I don't think I have like I have some specialty tools where they're really expensive, but most of my stuff is like bottom of the barrel. How can I get this? I'm really like cheap with my stuff.
Yeah, the alcohol palettes are not cheap.
No, they are not. Which is why I never got into them.
But you have to have the alcohol palettes to be able to airbrush them, so
I know, but like not my makeup used to be a passion of mine. Like I used to really like it. And then as I got older, I realized how much I hate wearing makeup. So now I just don't enjoy wearing makeup. So I never like invest into it. I wear the same like 3 things every day.
Yeah. I also do a bit different makeup. I'm not doing pretty makeup. I'm doing like, how horrifying can I make this thing?
Yeah, we're doing very different makeup styles. I'm mostly doing princesses and things like that.
Yeah, even when you do your gory stuff, it's not like Jeff type of gore.
No, it's more of like, it's like pretty gore essentially. Like my mangle is very much like, I want to still look pretty, but I want to add some blood to it.
Yeah, just like literally having body parts pop off or falling off of him and stuff. So
yeah, very different vibes right there.
Yes, exactly.
Neither one is wrong, but just very different people at that point.
Yeah. And I'm sure, I think I've told you, Bruce wants to make a mangled because you inspired him with your mangled.
I want to see him do mangle. I really am rooting for him to do that.
He just needs to get his supplies.
Making cosplays aren't cheap. As much as people like say it's a cheaper alternative, sometimes it's really not.
No, especially when you have parents who make everything and have a whole craft room where it's like, yeah, you can't make that stuff.
No. Making cosplay is not cheap. That reptar behind her is freaking a couple $100. So
yeah.
Foam, that thing probably was $100.
People say it's a cheaper alternative, and the only time I think it's a cheaper alternative is when, especially because I just lost like 60 pounds. When I was really heavy, I could not find a single cosplay in any of my sizes. That is the only time I think it's cheaper, because in the end I would have to get a custom made thing, but at the same time you're not putting in the hours to actually make it. So is it worth the sanity or is it worth the money?
The one spot I would say that it gets cheaper is if you're buying from like Pro Cosplay or something like that. Some of those costumes are ridiculously expensive.
Oh yeah, they get so expensive.
I think that one of the Deadpool costumes is nearly $300.
See, I've always said this. I've always said this, and I will forever say this. Cosplay is a materialistic hobby. You cannot get into it without buying something.
Yeah.
Yeah. My Wolverine was like 2 something, and then I right away ended up cutting holes in it.
Yeah.
Like, I was turning it into a freaking zombie version. So the first thing I did was I'm like, repaint the head, freaking cut big old holes in the thing.
Well, it's like people keep telling me that, oh, cosplay must be so cheap because you're like have all this fancy stuff to do it, and I'm like, yes, it's like you're not saving any money in the end. Like you might, when you just buy materials, you might look like you're saving money, but after you like have to tally in your mistakes and you having to rebuy stuff or having to um learn the skills to do it and the time and labor it takes to do it. Like I work a 9-to-5 job and I'm a sewing instructor. I teach people how to sew for a living, and I get paid $20 an hour for my time.
Wow.
Because
even that, the sewing machines aren't cheap.
no. And then like there's also a whole nother like argument with this where it's like, yeah, you're using a sewing machine, so it mostly comes down to 3D printers, where it's like you're using a machine to do it, so you're not actually doing anything. But you could say the same thing about a sewing machine, where it's like my sewing machine is doing some of it, but I have to still self-guide it, or
So,
I still have to like.
Where I'd say the 3D printer is, did you design the files?
Yeah. Whenever I'm judging cosplay contests, some people who don't make the files can still do really cool things with the base 3D printed parts. But most people, it's just painting and priming it. And all I can judge you on is if you're painting and you're priming, not your printing, not your modeling skills, not any of these things.
But if they like took the base and then not just painted but added to it,
it gets really cool. Like there's some really cool stuff you can do with 3D printing if you take the time to like learn how 3D printing works. Because like it is just plastic in the end of the day. So like you could easily like you could melt the plastic and do some really cool techniques with that. You could drill holes into it and add onto it with wire and clay and stuff. And there's some people, especially Silver Age, there's always a lot of 3D printing at Silver Age. And like that's not a bad thing, but I love this one person who usually always goes, and he like designs his files and everything, and he like 3D prints most people's stuff for Silver Age. And I just really like his work. And when he does like a lot of work for it as well. Like it's not just like a print and go kind of person.
oh yeah, like if you've been watching, Jeff made he's holding over called a Necrocom where it's a 3D print, but he also modified it.
Yeah.
So that's all foam clay on the outside.
Yeah. Oh, I
but
hate
it's
this.
out just a Pokedex 3D print.
And see, that's where it's like, I get the argument of people not wanting 3D printers to like have a place in the cosplay contest world, but also there's some really cool stuff you can do with your 3D printer if you learn to work with it, which is also a skill in its own.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the technique. Jeff probably knows, where like you can you take the 3D print and then you do something to it to like make it smooth and shiny. Our friend Ben was telling him about it.
Yeah. I know the vapor curing.
Yeah,
vapor curing. Because that takes time to do. Not just wait for the printer to make it, but there's a process that you have to like be there, watch it, make sure it goes well, or it's gonna melt or something.
Yeah, certain filaments and materials you can put in a box with acetone.
No. I did this when I had my own 3D printer. I did this a few times.
Yeah.
I am not a technology person. I am such an old soul. I hate learning new technologies. My friend donated me an embroidery machine, and I have not even turned it on because I know how much of a headache it's going to be whenever I turn it on, having to like learn the files and things for it. Okay, and then I started it just shows you how much of a difference your wig could go, like just from the white side, like versus what I painted on versus what I didn't.
Yeah, like if I didn't know any better, I would have thought that they purposely put in the strands to make it like that color.
Which some people do that, and to each their own. Sometimes that looks really cool, but it's also extremely hard to keep the color where you want it versus don't want it. So I just think this is just a little bit easier to like especially for beginners, just to handle, because most people have some kind of powder product and some hairspray. Like, I'm pretty sure you could even do this with, like, mica powder and stuff if you really wanted to.
If you use a mica powder, definitely do it in the ventilated area. That's
horrible. Definitely. Shit gets everywhere, man.
Airborne is horrible for your lungs.
Okay, I'm going to stop coloring it for now. So I will show you my last little tip on what I can do. Do you want to learn how to put glitter in your wig without it coming off?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're not really a glitter household, but for everyone else out there in the interwebs, they might want to know.
I was not a glitter household either until my mom said if I could not figure out a way to keep the glitter on the wig and not come off, then I wasn't allowed to do it. So I learned a way to do it. So I'm just using the plastic sheet that came in my chalk pastel thing. Usually I use a small little bowl, but I don't know where my bowl is. So we're just going to use a little plastic thing. We're going to just use some hair gel. It doesn't have to be the specific hair gel. It can be literally any hair gel you want it to be. This is just the got-to-be stuff. I found it on clearance one day, and I love it now. I pulled out pink glitter because I couldn't find my white glitter, but I'm going to use the pink glitter on the pink side. So you're just going to open your glitter, and you're going to dump in to however, like, your heart suggests, essentially. As much as you want, but you should have more gel than glitter. So what is happening here, I'm mixing it around, and the gel is, like, holding the glitter in place. It's like how they make body gel, like, glitters, so it doesn't come off. But now that that glitter is mixed into that, like, gel, it's not going to come off once you paint it on the wig. So I can, like, I'm just using the back of a brush. Usually I use my rat tail comb to do this, but back of the brush works too, and you just paint it on. And if you don't like, once you do this, it's really hard to take off. So keep that as you will. Like, even when you wash the wig, you'll still have glitter in it. And it tends to get really, like, hard on your wigs as well. So, like, tends to get them all, like, crusty and stuff. Or crunchy is the better word. But you just kind of paint it on. You can use literally any color glitter with any color wig. I also have my white glitters here as well. So I also tend to use chunky glitter and fine glitter and mix those together to, like, get different textures on my wigs as well. And then sometimes I'll even, like, say I have a white wig, I'll put green glitter on it to give, like, the highlights of the characters in the show has green highlights on their hair. It also, like, if you put glitter in your wig when you're on stage, it, like, reflects really weird, like, with light and stuff in pictures. So it, like, makes you look extra shiny, if that makes sense, like, sparkly.
Yeah.
Actually having to, like, you're not really doing a whole lot more to your wig. Like, you can barely see that on this wig, like, normally. But when the light hits it, you see it. And for me, this is probably a really light coat of glitter. I usually would put more glitter than this in the glitter. But I know not everyone likes glitter in their wig, so I'm raffling this off. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glitter, like, not a whole lot.
So if you win it, guys, you could just add more glitter if you want.
Just add more glitter. We love glitter. I am a glitter household now. But it usually stays on pretty well, especially if you put enough gel to glitter ratios. And then if you want to be extra safe that it's not going to come off, you can also hairspray it afterwards. So just hairspray it, let it dry a lot, which after I put the glitter and after I put the, like, coloring in my wig, I'll go over my wigs just once over with my hairspray, just so all my colorant stays in it, all my glitter stays in it. It does make my wigs a little crunchy, which some people don't like crunchy wigs. But I personally do not care, because if they're crunchy, they are going to last longer.
And they're going to stay formed in the way you style them. Right?
Oh, yeah. They're going to stay, however you style it, it usually stays forever unless you, like, really mess it up somehow. Like, say you snag your hair on a doorknob. I've done that multiple times and ruined my wigs while doing that. But, oh, we love glitter. I didn't put nearly enough glitter on this palette for as much glitter as I want to put on here. But that will be a later endeavor. And usually I do all these steps, like, all together. So, like, I'll curl the entire wig before I put any glitter on the front. But there we go. You can see, like, the glitter.
Yeah, I can pick up the shine.
I can do the white side as well, so you can see like the mixes of the two different textures of glitter. Usually, I think normally I would have put a gray glitter in this, like a gray or a black glitter, like mixed into the white glitters, just to give it some dimension. But I don't have any like gray glitter, actually. I have silver, but silver's not exactly what I want. And all I have is fine. I tend to prefer chunky glitter versus like fine glitters.
Mm-hmm.
So I tend to not keep a whole lot of fine glitter on hand, and all my silver glitter is really fine. And I want to mention, you can see it really well with this white one. If your gel starts to like foam up, so when you're mixing it, you're introducing air, so it's going to make it a little bit more like opaque. Once it dries, you will not see that, so you don't have to worry about it a whole lot. It's literally just me mixing this is adding air into the gel, so it's becoming a little bit more cloudy. Once it like dries, you are not going to see that, I promise. Oh, that's cool. But like you can also do this technique with like body glitter. Like you can do it for, you can mix hair gel and glitter and use it for body gel. Like you putting gel, like wanting to do glitter all over your body, and it will hold the same. Now, hair gel and hairspray is not good for your skin. So do it with a grain of salt and a grain of caution. But
I'm off camera, but I was giggling to myself because I remember when body glitter was all the rage when I was in middle school and everyone had it on and then split it off during PE class.
Yep. See, people forget how young I am because I grew up in the early 2000s. Well, no, I grew up in the 2000s. So
yeah, I know you a youngin. You barely 21.
I'm barely 21, but people like, I love talking to, especially I'm going to a con in Ohio coming up and I'm judging it. And I was talking to all the other cosplay judges, both for the skit contest and the craftsmanship contest. And I realized that all of them started in 2009. I was 4 in 2009. So it's one of those things where it's like I'm so much younger than most of my peers, but I have just as much, if not more, experience. Because
you started like, you were how old again when you started?
I started cosplaying when I was 9, but I only started making stuff when I was 18. So I've only been making cosplays for 3 years. But in that 3 years, I've been doing it almost every weekend for 3 years. I was a youngin.
Yeah. So you and Bruce are kind of the same because he was a little younger than that, but still, he's a child.
Yeah, baby. Anyway, that is my wig styling tips. Here's my wig for now. I will definitely go back and fix the rest of it probably tonight or tomorrow. And have my giveaway posted sometime soon. I just hit 16,000, or no, I hit 1,600 subscribers. There we go.
Oh my goodness.
I don't have very many followers. As many as people think I do. I don't.
But that's more than us. That's why I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. Cool.
My friends have so many more than I do, and I'm like, it's whatever. I don't really care about subscriber count or like follower count. At the end of the day, just because you have a lot of followers does not make you a good person.
Yeah, true. But like when your goal is to get more so you can advance and like be seen in the algorithms and stuff.
Yeah. That's fair. I agree with that.
That's why, friends, we are only 5 subscribers away from 200 on YouTube.
Have y'all announced why you're trying to get to 200 yet?
Oh yeah, we've been promoting the 200 goal since like last August.
Oh, well.
Or whenever it was when we reached 100, and we were like, yeah, let's get to
200 subscribers. I don't even think I have that much on YouTube. I don't know how.
Oh no, I looked it up. You have way more. You have like, I know you have more. You're like 400 and something. I had looked it up. You're a little shy of 500.
I do? Oh my god. I have not.
Yeah.
I use
You have.
I use YouTube every day, like to watch videos and stuff, but I have not posted on it in God knows how long. Oh, I have 403 subscribers.
Yeah, you have 403 subscribers. I was like, oh, I want that many right now.
I gotta start actually using my. I gotta start using my YouTube. I have videos and stuff, but
You just do it slowly. Just edit a bunch of stuff first, and then you can just start
I
posting it.
I hate editing videos.
I know.
Even on like TikTok and stuff, editing videos before I post them, I hate it. I hate every aspect of it.
Editing is like the homework part of it.
It is! Oh my god, that's a great way to put it, actually. I hate editing. Anything to not have to edit my videos. I actually bought a laptop just so I could edit YouTube videos, and I have not used it for that purpose at all.
And is it the one you're currently doing this video on?
I'm currently using
That's why we just do lives. We don't have to edit anything.
Exactly. Well, I am not a live stream person. I feel like I do better when I can like retake like shots every now and then. Just because like I don't like how I say certain things, so I like cut them out and like have to re-say that whole part of the video. But my Rosalina, that will come out eventually. I really want to get it done, but I just gotta get it done.
So what I found works really good for finding time to edit is when you're a passenger on the way to a con or something.
Yeah, but I tend to just
sitting
sleep.
there anyways. You can either scroll nonsense social media or actually get something done.
I tend to just sleep on the way to con. So my mom usually drives. My handler, my mom, she usually drives us to cons because I have severe like driving anxiety. So she usually drives us. So usually on the 4-hour drives, I'm sleeping in the passenger seat because I went to bed at like 2 a.m., which is not healthy. Don't do that. But I have a sleep disorder that causes me to do it. So I tend to just sleep. I know it's a really good habit. My mom's mentioned it multiple times. Like, you can edit stuff while you're sitting here. And I'm like, or I could just conk out, you know?
Jeff has made all kinds of stuff while we're driving, going to shows and stuff, because as you know, we go to stuff with distance starting and Phil's the one driving. So we're in the back seat of the truck just chilling the whole time.
Well, y'all go further than I do at this point.
No, well, this year you're going further than us. You're going to go to the Washington show. We're not going to that one.
Well, Powerhouse was like a really special con for me because Powerhouse was the first ever con I guested at back when it was in California. It was the first con I ever.
Was it the time we were there?
Yes.
We were there when he was BMO. Was that your first time?
Yes. Because that's where I met y'all the first time. So that was my first time guesting.
Okay, that's where we met you. That was like Bruce's second big win ever.
Yeah.
So
I helped place him. I was pushing for him.
Yeah.
We met a lot of people that day. We met you. We met Distance Nerding. We met
Lady Deadpool, Fresno.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't talked to her since then. I wonder where she is right now. What she's doing.
Fresno still.
Is she?
Yep.
Yeah, she hosted the last Weekend Blender in Clovis.
Oh, I need to like reach out to her. I haven't talked to her in so long. I don't think I've talked to her since that event, actually.
Well, I mean, you guys are now in the area of where y'all live, so.
Anyway, that is all I have for today. That is my wig styling adventures.
Well, do you have any pluggables?
Sorry?
Do you have any pluggables? Shows you're going to...
Oh, okay. No, y'all both talked over each other right as I asked that. I couldn't hear. I'm hard of hearing. I suck at that stuff. Anyway, I'm Astro. I go by Astros here. I'm going to Silver Age as my next show. I'm also going to Powerhouse in Washington. I'm going to MatsuriCon in Ohio. I'm doing a lot of shows coming up, and I'm super excited to like branch out of the U.S. I've competed and guested all over the U.S. at this point. I'm a 60 plus award winning master level competitive cosplayer, and I do this for a living. I'm a professional cosplayer. So that is who I am. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok because that's all I post on apparently now.
But you do have a YouTube channel, which eventually will have more content.
Eventually. When I start,
I will do the tag thingy, whatever it's called, on here, so that this video can also appear on your YouTube.
Yes, do that because I don't use my YouTube as much as I should, but
But then you'll have updated content on your YouTube channel.
I think my most popular video is from like 2020. That shows how much I don't use my YouTube.
The popular video on our social media is that BMO win from Powerhouse.
Well, I was in that video, I think, because I think I was in the background.
Yeah, you were, because it's literally just him running up to the stage, getting his award, and not knowing where to start.
You're talking about. I love that video though, because it shows how excited he was, and you can't even see his face.
Yeah. So if anyone's curious, it's pinned to our Instagram, and it's here on our YouTube as well.
It is such a cute video. I love little Bimo. I love him. I love little Brucey.
I know, he's 11 now.
Oh my god, he's 11. He grew up so fast.
I know. I tried to invite you to his birthday, but you don't Facebook enough.
Oh, did I? I'm never on my Facebook. It still has my stuff on it. I don't even use it.
I know, I was trying to find photos for the promos and stuff. I'm like, all her photos are really old. I gotta go steal them off her Instagram.
You gotta ask for my portfolio. All my new photos are on my portfolio.
It was so late. I was like, I'm just gonna like screenshot things and crop it.
Go for it. I don't care.
Well, I mean, we sent you the stuff, so.
Yeah, I don't care. It is what it is.
All right, so I think that's gonna do it for us today. So remember, everyone, be a maker, not a hater. Bye, everyone.
Bye, y'all.